Hello, everyone. Ben Mayo here. I am excited to be able to share with you a little bit about the Social Media Studio. What is Social Media Studio? It is a feature set of the Manatech Plus premium subscription package. So if you have a premium subscription Manatech Plus, you currently have access to Social Media Studio. Social Media Studio is both a mobile platform as well as a desktop platform that can be accessed through your Manatech.com back office. Social Media Studio was designed to be able to help you boost your social media presence. Manatech has worked to be able to gather together several different resources, hundreds of different resources to be able to help you design imagery that you would like to post to your social media platform. So we've been able to give you product images and designs that have a Manatech influence to it to be able to help you position Manatech in a manner that fits your own personal brand. We also have posts that we create and put into the social media platform that all you need to do is customize to your messaging and approve. So we're giving to you on a weekly basis the ability to be able to accept social media content that you can be able to publish to your social media platforms of choice. Social Media Studio is also a scheduler so that you can set up your calendar, whether you're out of town or you just want to set it and forget it. You can create your social media posts in advance and then be able to publish them on a scheduled date and time. In addition, or lastly, it is a analytics. It's so that you can be able to see the performance of each of your content within the social media platform that you're posting to. So you can see when you get the highest level of engagement, whether it's a Thursday or a Friday at 1 p.m., 1 a.m., using artificial intelligence, the platform will actually over time be able to see when your followers are engaging the most with your platform. But also on the analytics side, you can unfold and be able to see deeper into what is working within the content that you are creating. So if you want to get started today and you don't already have a Manatech Plus premium account, what you do is you'd go to your back office, you would subscribe going to My Business, the category, and then Manatech Plus. You'd want to make sure that you pick a premium version of Manatech Plus along with your choice of either a Gold Success Tracker or just the free version of Success Tracker. And then once you are subscribed, you will see in your quick links in your Manatech.com back office, as soon as you've subscribed, that you can click on Social Media Studio. So it doesn't appear until you have subscribed. So that is how you get the desktop version. Once you've subscribed, you'd also go into your choice of an Android, Google platform, or a Google Play Store, or you'd go into the Apple Store and you would download the Manatech Social Media Studio app. And that's easily found if you just type in Manatech and search within your app store, you will find that app to be able to download. So that is how you get started. I've actually got the help of Lindsay Tompkins, our social media expert, and Tim Altvater, who is our director of sales here in the United States, to be able to help us in how they would use the platform to be able to grow their businesses. And they're going to go ahead and walk you through how they would use the platform itself to be able to grow and engage and create conversations with those who are following you on your social media platform. So without further ado, thank you, Tim and Lindsay, for helping me out with being able to demonstrate the Social Media Studio platform and how to go about growing your business with it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ben Mayo. Ben is our Vice President of Marketing, and I'll tell you what, Ben loves technology and even more so loves bringing amazing new technology to our space and to us here at Manatech, and we are so lucky to have him. And I'll tell you what, we are really lucky, very fortunate to have Lindsay Tompkins with us. She is a social media expert, sales trainer, confidence coach. She helps sellers and entrepreneurs realize their dreams, their goals. She teaches how to have a strong presence online. She helps turn followers into leads, which is so critical. Now get this, I didn't know this, but she has worked with literally dozens of companies. And the more time I get to spend with her, I learn more and more about all the amazing skills she has. She has great language when it comes to helping people understand that they can do this business. And again, taking the concepts from social media and applying them in your Manitech business, it's so amazing. We have our own social media coach. Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us. I know you love this new social media tool. So as an expert, if you were in the field, and you're in the field in a way because you're helping everyone here build in the field, how would you really use this tool?
Well, thanks, Tim, for having me. I'm really excited to be here and to be training with Manitech. So this is probably one of the favorite tools that I have from Manitech. You are all so incredibly lucky that Manitech invests so much into developing digital tools and taking the company in new ways that a lot of other companies just really aren't in this direct sales space. And so when it comes to social media content and creating content and putting that out there is an integral part of it. It's not just, showing up online and commenting on other people's posts or messaging people privately. It's really about building your own brand persona on social media, and content's the way to do that. So whether you're utilizing video or graphics with captions, we have Instagram reels to TikToks. There's so many different things that you can utilize. But I know for the average associate, that can feel like a really large undertaking. We're not all social media experts and trainers, and we're not just building a social media business. We don't want to be necessarily content creators and influencers. It's about building a business and building income. So there's so many different tasks and income producing activities that we need to do in a day. And sometimes, especially if you're new to the business or new to social media, trying to understand how to grow there can be really difficult and overwhelming for a lot of people. And that's what I love about the social media suite, because you get to go in there and first off, there's so many different templates in there. I even just went through it again before we did this segment because I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing any of the amazing perks. And I couldn't believe how easy it was. I tested a bunch of graphics myself, and to know that the Manitech branding is there. You can pull any of the logos that you want to, whether you're talking about Manitech or M5M or anything like that. You're able to pull in branding to make it look really consistent. Plus, if you're not really a creative mind, sometimes when you sit down to a blank paper or a blank schedule, or if you're on something like Canva, the sky's the limit to create, but sometimes that stalls a lot of people. They're like, I don't know where to go next. But by having those templates, having those photos uploaded there for you, you're able to go through and it'll really jog your creativity of going, wow, do you know what? I really haven't talked about this product in a while, or, oh, I love that image that Manitech uploaded for me. I'm able to just pull that and push that out to my followers. And then obviously Manitech is able to do that too. You can give Manitech permission to actually push out posts on your behalf. And so if you don't really want to, engage in social media that much, then you can have that feature. Plus, the social media suite offers little compliance alerts. So maybe if you're using keywords or something that you need to be careful of, I mean, that part in and of itself is invaluable to me if I was a business owner with Manitech, because we want to make sure that we're always being compliant. But everything is there for you. I'm all about working smarter, not harder when it comes to business. It's one place to log into. You're not utilizing multiple apps. So for me, it's 100% a no-brainer.
I love it. And I'll tell you what, I was sort of shocked when I first heard about this. I thought this is going to be amazing. I didn't realize it was going to be part of the Manitech Plus app for anyone that subscribes at the premium level, which is just great. And, one thing I've learned from you already is that, and I think a lot of us know this, but it's one thing to know it and another thing to be able to do it. Social media, it's not just about sharing the content and then hopping offline and going about your day or life. The goal is really to take that, whether it be a follower or a contact, and help sort of convert them into someone that you're going to have a conversation with, for example, like a lead. So if that happened, let's say you're using these tools and someone liked a post or made a comment, what type of things would you say? What type of language would you use to sort of move that towards a more of a private conversation or a phone call or whatever it is that is the way to do it?
Absolutely. And I think that it's so important what you mentioned, like the distinction between somebody who follows me or a contact that I may have in my phone to somebody who's a lead. A follower, a contact, these are people that may engage with you online, or they follow you online, or they're friends with you in real life. They have some form of relationship, but a lead is somebody that wants to do business with you. And that distinction is incredibly important. I hear it with a bunch of different people, like not just within Manatech, but all over. We confuse what a lead and a follower is. And so how we can use the social media suite first for that is having that Manatech content go out. If we are just building a lifestyle brand, if we're only keeping things nice and personal with our content, we may be building followers and interest in who we are, but it doesn't mean they want to do business with us. So being able to use those posts can really start to trigger some of those conversations, like you talked about, whether it's comments on the post or your Facebook Live to private messages. And the language that you want to use there, I know that for so many people, when we see our content working, when we put something out there and people respond, we are excited. We want to shout from the rooftops, but we have to remember to stay calm and slow down. We don't want to word vomit. We don't want to send somebody a private message that's paragraphs and paragraphs of information. We really want to build a conversation. And so when you're looking at the type of language, you want it to be conversational. So when we are, in our sales mind and we're going to sales trainings, we learn so much invaluable language that we can utilize, but we need to make sure that we personalize that language. People can tell really quickly, especially if they've had conversations with you before, when you're talking as a person to when you're copying and pasting a script somebody has given you. And so the way that I really like to alleviate that, especially online, is part of that conversation is asking questions and listening. Your conversations in your private messages or in your direct messages should look like, your message theirs, your message theirs. It should be a back and forth. It shouldn't be a really long paragraph, because that can scare people off. Or sometimes people just really don't have the time to read it. People are on social media for the most part during their leisure times. We're on there also during our business time because we're working a business. But people, they're going on there, they're just, scrolling really quickly. So we want to make sure that, number one, we compliment, anything that they're doing and saying. Maybe they said, oh, I love this recipe that you posted. Thanks for posting that. Compliment them for, thank you so much for commenting on that. I love that you're into this like I am. Health is so important to me and wellness. And it's, it's something that I think that more people need to be more passionate about. So good on you for wanting to take control of this. It's you're complimenting them. You're reinforcing to them, wow, I am making a good decision. And people aren't usually recognized by people. That's one of the main things that I think is so integral to this industry, is the recognition component. And so when you're looking at your conversations, especially with people you may not really know online, we know we need to build that know, like, and trust factor. And you do that by complimenting others, by being conversational, by listening, and be committed to having a conversation in your language. And I don't mean whether that's English or Spanish or anything like that. I mean, in the way that you talk and the way that you show up. It's, like I said, it's so easy to get really excited, but slow down, listen, and pick up on some of the keywords they use. If they use the word weight loss, then you should use the word weight loss, right? And so they're going to really lead the conversation. You're just there to pivot it along and to take them to the next steps. And that's probably the thing I'll end with last about language, is you have to have that next step. Sometimes though, it's not going to be to sign up right now or buy the product. Sometimes it's going to be to check out a free quiz that you have. Sometimes it's going to be to check out a Facebook group that you've created, a guide that you've written, or just simply getting on your email list. It's how can I make sure that there's an action-oriented step within this conversation? Otherwise, it can fall flat and the algorithm can be difficult to deal with. And just because somebody messages you and sees your content one day doesn't mean they're going to see it the next. So you really do have to optimize every opportunity.
I love that. I love the rapport building. So that's one of the great things when you get to work with Lindsay, is you just learn so much in a very short amount of time. So Lindsay, before we wrap up this segment, I want to find out, with tools like this, how does one gauge if they're being effective in using the tools or just being online and doing their marketing? And then if they're not, if they realize, wait a minute, I'm not getting likes or people commenting, what do they do?
Right. So there's two different ways that I want everyone to look at, is my content successful? There's two main questions. One, am I getting the engagement? Am I getting the reach? You're going to be able to see that in the social media suite. There is an analytics tab, and it'll say how many people your post reached, how many comments, how many saves, how many shares, etc. But also the other question that a lot of people don't necessarily think about when they're thinking about social media is, did this make me money? At the end of the day, engagement is important, but conversion is king. Write that down. Engagement is important, but conversion is king. There's going to be some times where we may put out a post out there, and sometimes it's so impactful that people don't even want to stop to comment, to like, or engage on the post. They're actually going right to your bio, right to your website, or right into a personal message with you to get moving. And so when we look at, was this successful? You may have a Facebook Live, even, for example, where you don't get a lot of comments, and you look at it and you go, wow, that wasn't beneficial. I had 2 people that were on. I'm not going to do this anymore. But then in reality, those 2 people, maybe you talked about the True Health Challenge that's starting, that started September 1st. And they watch that and they're like, I'm in. Well, now you've just made 2 sales. And was that worth it? It absolutely was. And so sometimes engagement and likes and the vanity metrics can be really deceiving. And so you have to come from it from both of those perspectives. Did this make me money? And was there engagement there? And did I develop a lead? A lead is invaluable. So even if you didn't necessarily make income on that post, we can't always correlate everything back to, in marketing, exactly what was done. It's a collaborative effort of what we do consistently, right? And so we need to show up consistently, and you're going to be able to gauge it from those 2 ways. If you're finding that on both fronts you are not doing well, then you do have to make adjustments. What I like about the social media suite is that you're able to plan in advance, and you're able to, edit your captions. You're able to see what is the large, big picture of what I'm presenting. If I've been talking about something for the last week and it's not really going well, I'm not getting a lot of engagement, and I see in my calendar on social media suite, I have that scheduled also for the next 4 days. That's when it's time to hit pause, regroup, put something else up there, put something that's really engaging. At the end of the day, social media, it's all about collecting data, and nothing is a failure. Even the posts that do incredibly well versus not well, they're both invaluable information to us because we know what to do more of and also what to do less of. Sometimes it's our content that needs to be adjusted, but sometimes we have amazing content, but we just have the wrong audience. And so that's when we need to look at, what hashtags am I using? What do my followers want from me? Who are they? How do I continue to develop a new audience? So just stay consistent. Don't let yourself go down the spiral of, I'm not made for this. This isn't working. Because for me to be able to sit here and be, the voice on this topic, it's not because I've always been the best. It's because I've failed the most. I've failed more than any single person, which has shown me how to be successful. I know what works and what doesn't because I've let myself try everything. And so let yourself fail, be consistent. It should be one of those first places you sign into in the morning. Look at your content, look at your engagement, and just keep plugging in and moving forward.
Fantastic. And you're one person away from your next great partner, even if it is one person that happens to see your post or your Facebook Live. I love it. Lindsay, I love when you get to train specifics for our field. So I know you have some upcoming training coming up on your social media trainings. I'd love it if we can jump on there and do a role play. I'll be the viewer, and you can use some of that language to help everyone see firsthand exactly how to convert. And then you've done so much great training. That's the Manatech training site. If you haven't seen that stuff, you've really got to take advantage of it. Lindsay Tompkins, thank you so much for this segment, but for being here at Manatech and giving us so much great, just amazing, valuable information. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Tim.
You bet. Back to you, Mr. Kevin Robbins.